Ready?
Yes. My
Dude,
phone is on silent.
You look extra delicious today. What are you trying to do? You're going to get yourself in trouble.
No, I'm getting older, so I'm trying to make myself feel younger.
Yes, your birth. Oh, is that your way of mentioning it's also my birthday week? Was that your way?
My week is my birthday. Yeah, no, it's my birthday month.
Yes, we always make a big deal for Renee's birthday. But this year, we're going to Miami together.
Yes.
With the family and Miss Dora. And I have a very special gift
Miss
for
Dora,
you.
too, because she's a Virgo as well.
Oh, my God.
Her birthday's a week after mine.
Yes, with your Virgo BS. By the way, you look beautiful.
Thank you. I feel out of sorts because I couldn't find my Captain Evil cup before we started today. So this is another one that she made for me.
Oh my gosh, dude, we're selling the crap out of those cups. We don't take
But
enough.
I couldn't find mine. I lost mine.
We sold it. Make some money. Make some free money. No, people love them, and people have been buying them, and we usually take like 10 with us on the road, and they're gone.
They're not cheap. They're expensive.
They're not cheap.
Cups.
They're very expensive, but they are gone. Let's get the sponsors out of the way.
Yes.
I will do Aztec Chevrolet. Aztec Chevrolet, if you're looking for a vehicle, specifically a Chevrolet, specifically if you are south of Austin, give Aztec Chevrolet a chance.
Yes.
Because they are awesome people. I did go fishing with the owner last week, and he's just, God, you know, I don't want to embarrass him, but he's such a good man. And I don't want to, we had drinks together at the end of the night, and as you get older, the things you talk about are your life and your family, and you know, and he's just such a passionate man for his family. Yeah. And I just enjoyed his company, and I just really admired his passion for his family. So I will leave it like that. I don't want to embarrass him, but he had a very, very beautiful story that he told me about his family, and I just thought, I don't want to talk about it until I ask his permission. Yeah. If we're able to share, but just a beautiful man. Give them a chance because it is locally owned and operated by good folks. And Old Salt Coffee, we got to get you to sign up for the subscription. Yes. We had several messages of people saying, well, they don't have decaf.
Oh, I didn't realize that because we want coffee strong.
Yeah, we're full unleaded. We go full leaded. We don't go unleaded. We go full leaded. But thank you for reaching out. Thank you for thinking of us. Thank you for saying, hey, I totally would get a subscription if they had decaf. So they don't have decaf. However, they have amazing coffee. Steve Trevino, our Trevino 10 is the code. Old Salt Coffee, veteran owned and operated. Yes. And of course.
And good old picked cherries.
So we put together a really cool video. Well, I think we've already talked about it on the deal, but this was the first weekend that we actually tried the video, that we put it up before the show.
The intro video before your theater tour.
And I think people really, really liked it. And then we actually do a little pick cherry video for the fans or family to enjoy before I walk on stage. So I'm so looking forward to those of you coming to the theater shows. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I want to try the video in Miami
this weekend.
Yep. I want to see what people think. I want to see people's reactions because the theater shows. I mean, I'm so far in the back in my green room. I don't even hear it. So I didn't
like
get
people
to
are
see
filling
it,
into the audience. Yeah. Because it plays for 35 minutes before the show starts?
It's like 30 minutes. And then, and let's, these people, we were talking about them, and they just made me an awesome T-shirt. Look at that shirt right there. Isn't that cool? With us.
With her and her Captain Evil shirt.
Our pictures, and it's just so cool. I have lost weight, guys. I don't know why you got me an XL. Can't wear. I'll be swimming in this thing. I'll look like I had a one-night stand, and you won't even see my shorts. So thank you so much, guys.
That's cute the way it has all the Instagram comments on the bottom of it. I was trying to read them as you were holding it up.
It's really, really awesome. But we love when you guys do really fun and cool stuff like that. But we will kick off the podcast talking about this weekend. This weekend was awesome, man. I have been talking about the idea that I don't want to be on the road away from my family right? You know, if I could do Friday, Saturday, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So this weekend was the first weekend where we successfully got me to work Friday and Saturday.
And you were home early on Sunday.
It was awesome.
You were home by like 11 on Sunday, right?
Oh, man. You know, that's perfect for me. I left at noon Friday. I was able to kiss my babies in the morning. I was able to give Garrett a hug and a kiss, my daughter a hug and a kiss. I was able to hang out with you for the first part of the morning and then head off to work. So Friday...
I think you might have even mowed the lawn that morning, right? Because you were like, it's going to rain.
Oh, yeah, I did. I cut the yard.
Yard before you
cut the yard and weeded it and cleaned up and did all the things that I am supposed to do. And but it was cool. Then so I got to tell you this story, dude. I told your dad, and he was dying laughing.
Right.
So where was the show Friday? Washington, Illinois.
Yes.
Okay, which is very close to Peoria, Illinois. Again, nice people, beautiful people. Before we tell you the funny story,
what is it close to?
Peoria.
I don't know where that is.
It's it. That is it.
Is there an airport in Peoria?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a baby airport.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I flew into Peoria. That's right.
Uh-huh.
But we did sell out, which is awesome and exciting.
Yeah.
And a woman, and gosh, I hope I don't mess it up, but I think her name was Joan or Jane. She comes up to me, and it's a small town, Washington, you know, Peoria, and then Washington, Illinois is the suburb of a suburb, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's a small town. But she comes up to me and she says, I have this foundation called the Brown Foundation, right? Which was hilarious because when she saw Dave and me, she was like, it's called
Not that kind of Brown?
Yeah, the Brown Foundation.
Someone's last name is Brown?
Turns out her husband ended up getting a rare form of brain cancer and within a year passed away. Like by the time they found out, there is no cure. It's 1 in 13,000 or 130,000 cancer. And, every time she would talk about it, she would break up a little bit.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'd really like to talk about my foundation today and possibly, raise a little money today at your show. And I said, of course, like 1,000%, please do whatever you got to do, right?
Yeah.
So she goes up there and she does her thing and she talks about the cancer and how she wants to do, not only does she want to do research, she wants to give a scholarship to the families of people like that, right? Mm-hmm. So she does her thing, and I don't know, she raises $200-300. And now, in my rider, because I had to have a rider for all the things I want in my green room, because there is no bar. I don't ask for things at comedy clubs because they have a full bar and a full restaurant, and I'll just order it. I don't need stuff in my green room. However, there are a lot of comedians that insist that they have sushi in the back, and that's just not me, right? But now I have a writer, and they bring me a bottle of Crown, which is for me. Uh-huh. They bring a bottle of vodka for my guests who like to drink vodka, and they bring me a 12-pack of Dos Equis so that if I have people back, I can offer a drink.
Something,
right?
Yeah.
We didn't touch the vodka that night, and I asked Dave for a drink, and Dave brought the whole bottle at the end of the show. He brought the whole bottle. I made myself a drink, and boom, I was like, whoa, why don't I raise money for this woman? Because her story really touched me.
Yeah.
And they had been together for 25 years, 20 plus years. Her husband was a huge member of the community. He coached basketball there. He was just a really, really good man. And watching her tear up talking about losing her husband just made me feel like, oh my gosh, like I cannot imagine losing my wife. I could not imagine, one day everything's normal, everything's fine.
Right.
And then all of a sudden she said that his speech was slurring. He started he couldn't control his mouth, and they went in and MRI and boom, he's got this cancer. And then very shortly after that, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even imagine. So I took the bottle, I took the the bottles. I took all the merchandise that I normally give out to the crowd, and I go, I'm going to auction this off. You will get to come backstage. I will sell you the bottles. I will sell you the merch. We'll come backstage. We'll take a picture together, right? I go, I'm starting the bid off at $100. Somebody got $100, and then somebody was like $100, then somebody was like $200, and then this woman stands up and she goes, $2,000. $2,000. And I said, sold, right?
Uh-huh.
So we sold it for $2,000. Amazing. Well, the brown Joanne or Joan, I feel horrible that Jody, I feel horrible that I'm not remembering her name. She had left. So now we're calling her.
She left before the end of the show?
She left before the end of the show. So we're calling her going, get your butt over here. Uh-huh. Steve just raised $2,000 for your foundation. Get over here, right? Uh-huh. So by the time she gets back, me and the people that, by the way, the couple was a Texas couple that has retired from the military. Both of them retired from the military, met in the military. You know, huge fans, you know, follow us, love us. I got them backstage. I got their friends backstage. We're all, and they didn't care, man. They were like, let's drink. And we ended up having drinks together as we sat down. Uh-huh. She walks in and she's like, what's going on? Uh-huh. And I go, well, we just raised you $2,000. She was like, what? What happened? I go, well, I auctioned off these bottles and, you know, and the whole staff came out. Yeah. And the whole staff. So then she starts to cry. Yeah. And then we all start to cry. And then Timmy comes after selling merch. Uh-huh. And he goes, hey, here's $900 more that everybody gave tonight. So we were able to raise at the merch table.
Wow.
We raised $2,900 for her. And oh my gosh, like just she started crying. And you know, she
how
was
wonderful! I'm so bummed she missed it. I'm bummed for her that she missed it to like see it happen. But how wonderful!
But she got it.
Yeah.
You know, and it was funny because, and I, you know, I find that this happens quite a bit at my shows where people and comedy does that to you too. You're sitting down, you're drinking, you're having a great time, and before you know it, you are wasted. Right? Yeah. Because you're not thinking about it. You're drinking. You're having a good time. It's like an
emotional release, right, too. Especially if you're like tightly wound type A like me. It's such an emotional release to laugh.
She totally got a little too drunk.
The girl, that's why she
the girl that gave the $2,000. No, the girl that gave us the $2,000, right? And she was like so loud and like, Steve, you look tired. Your eyes just look puffy. I said, well, that's how I'm built. I have puffy eyes. I have bad allergies. You need to sleep. And then her husband's like, you know.
But it is true. You do need to sleep.
He was like, babe. Like, you know, she's like, no, I'm going to call Renae right now. And I'm going to tell Renae that Steve needs to sleep, right? And she was super sweet, but she was, you know, obviously had a little too much to drink. Uh-huh. And then the best part, we're all hanging out. It was a very emotional night. And she's still, you know what, Steve? Go straight home. Go to bed, right? And she wouldn't stop. And I always find it funny that, like, when a wife gets like that,
the husband just is patient and quiet and takes care of her. The husband's
always like, well, I can't do anything about it, you know.
You know. Yeah.
When a husband gets belligerent drunk like that and it's annoying, she will leave. She will leave and be like, get in the fucking car. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Done. We are done. You're embarrassing me. Like, it's a problem.
Yes.
She's drunk and the husband's literally like,
No, you flip a switch, you will be totally fine, and then all of a sudden you start to slur your speech, and I'm like, okay, it's go time when you start to slur.
Well, I mean, I drank 2 bottles of Crown at that point, but then the best part is, so she's like, you need to sleep, and then she slowly starts to slide out of her chair.
What do you mean slide out of her chair?
Like to the side, like she's falling out of her chair, like holding on. And it was so slow motion that nobody got up to help her. Because everybody's like, she's not falling.
Oh, that's mean. Like, no one got up to help her.
We didn't think she was falling. We're like, no way. She's like, it was all happening.
She's got it. Like, she's got it under control. Got it.
And she just slowly slipped onto the floor. Like, she didn't fall to the floor. She just kind of like melted
bed? Like,
Yeah,
where's,
dude, it
where's
was
the
the
bed?
funniest shit.
Where's
And
the
she goes,
mattress?
she's like, we're like, and then he's like, honey, you're drunk. He's, I'm not drunk. And it's like, you're sitting now on the floor, right? But they did donate, and I just want to tell them thank you so very much. And we had a wonderful time with them. And I don't want you to be embarrassed, because I did not find it embarrassing at all. I really enjoyed hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching her.
Them have a good time.
Have a great time.
Yeah.
And you know, you wonder, if who knows, man. I mean, like us, life gets busy. So many people come to the show and say, this is our first night out in forever.
Yeah.
Right. So it was just a beautiful night. And then here's the funny part.
So wait. So was the woman a fan?
No.
The woman who was raising the money, or how did she come to the show? How did that happen?
The venue told her that she could. The venue told her. It's a small community. And when I mentioned her husband, a lot of people clapped.
In the audience knew him.
The audience. A lot of people knew him. So I just felt, I'm always just trying to find ways, right? And do cool stuff. And it was just an opportunity that I saw that I thought, hey, maybe I'll raise her $500.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to raise her $29.
That's awesome. You were going to say something. You were going to say the funniest part of the night.
Oh, so anyway, of course we got to find a casino, right? So me, Dave, and Timmy, and again, ladies and gentlemen, there is no excuse to get a DUI. There is no excuse. There are Ubers, and I always Uber if we're going to drink. And and the guys know, if we're going to have to drive the car, somebody's driving and somebody will be sober.
Yeah.
There is no excuse to get a DUI. So anyway, we go, okay, well, and the casino wasn't even that far.
I was going to say, how far is the casino from the venue?
I can tell you exactly. 3/4 of a mile.
So you couldn't find an Uber to get you 3/4 of a mile?
Well, no, we found the Uber to get us there. We're drinking. We're having a good time. We're at the casino. And then we can't get an Uber at the end of the night.
To get back to the hotel.
Back. So we're in this casino. The parking lot's huge. And Dave's like, that way. I got my thing out. It's that way, right? So we start walking.
Wait, you couldn't get an Uber, or you couldn't find your Uber?
We couldn't find an Uber. No. We couldn't get an Uber at all.
Okay.
We were trying to order
I
one.
thought you meant the Uber's there. You
Right.
just can't find it.
So he's like, the hotel's right there. We'll just go through the parking lot, right? The parking lot's fucking huge.
Yeah.
We go through the parking lot. Well, now in front of us is a bush that goes for 500 yards. Like, the bush is long, the whole distance of the parking lot, right? And in order to now go around, it's like, oh crap, now we got to walk all the way around these bushes.
How thick is this bush?
It's thick, but it's not high, so
You can see over it.
well, kind of like I'm
On
short.
your tiptoes.
I'm working my calves out. I'm looking over the bush, right? And then Timmy goes, "Fuck it, let's go through the bush," right? And I'm like, "All right, fuck it, let's
Timmy
go
has
through."
experience with bushes.
I go, "Fuck it, let's go through the bush," right? And of course, Dave's so tender. He's a little baby, right? He's so soft.
The tallest of the bunch is the tenderest.
Oh my God, he was like, I don't want to go through the bush, right? And me and Timmy are like, you fucking, come on, dude, go through the bush. It's a 6-foot drop down. We had no idea. The bushes were in a freaking ditch. Me and Timmy go straight down into the mud.
I hope Jay was laughing at your asses.
Dude, it is muddy. It is wet, right? And I'm so embarrassed, dude. I'm all wet and muddy, and I'm like, fuck this shit, right?
Now you're never getting a ride home.
Dude, I jump out as fast as I can, right? I mean, it's like the wall's like right here to me, and I'm like, fuck this, dude. I get out. I'm covered in mud.
The wall? I thought there was a bush and a ditch.
Yes.
So where's the
The
wall?
wall is a ditch. It's like this. Like a ditch.
Oh, okay.
There's a wall, bushes, but the wall goes down, right? We don't see, we just go in, dude. So I get out, right? I'm fucking soaking wet. I'm muddy, and Dave is losing it, right? He's laughing so hard, right? And Timmy can't get out, dude. Timmy's so drunk, he can't get out of the bushes. And we're over there, come on, Tim, let's go. He's like, I'm trying to get out, damn it. And he would get up and slip and fall. And by the way, he's like in the middle of the bushes. I don't know how because he kept trying to go. Like he was
committed to the through tactic.
We're going through.
Got it.
Right? So I'm soaking wet. We finally get Timmy out. Timmy's covered in mud. Timmy's all scratched up. His shirt's wide open, right? And finally we get an Uber to show up.
Oh, they're not going to pick your muddy ass up in their clean car?
The Uber shows up and sees us, and he's like, oh, no. He's like,
gotta hose you down.
And I go, buddy, well, you got to get us home. I go, I'll give you $100, right? And he's like, all right, $100, cash money right now. Let's go. I got to walk back into the casino.
To the ATM?
I'm covered in mud. I'm all wet. I go back in the casino.
I'm surprised they didn't escort you out of the casino looking like that.
Thank God I'm not more famous. And thank God it was that late, because that shit would have been on TMZ. Comedian Steve Trevino, wet and muddy, looking
found
homeless.
in a bush.
Oh my God, it was so funny. And by the way,
Poor guy, was his car a disaster?
On a weekend, I don't take another pair of jeans.
Oh, that's right.
I always wear...
It's just 2 nights you wear the same pair of jeans.
I wear the same pair of jeans 2 nights. I'm done.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is like your clothes came home and they weren't covered. None of your clothes were covered in mud.
I threw them in the wash as soon as I got here. I showed your dad, dude, and your dad was like, what the fuck? Right?
So you had to wear those pants on night 2?
No, I ended up... Remember, I couldn't find those pants.
Before you left, you couldn't find the pants. So you ended up with 2 pairs of pants in your suitcase this weekend?
Yep, there is a God. Things happen for a reason.
You were going to go to a casino and end up in a ditch, buddy.
It was the funniest shit, dude. So that finishes off that night. We wake up in the morning. We now have to drive.
Or the afternoon. No, the morning. You had to wake up early.
I had to wake up early because, I didn't even realize, and that's the thing about this tour. It has been a complete blessing, but it's also been somewhat of
it's a grueling schedule. That's what it is. It's a grueling schedule.
We're adding shows.
It's a test of endurance.
It's tough, man. And now I have to drive 9 hours to Wichita.
Yeah.
To get to Wichita. So I'm in the car for the next 9 hours. And I didn't realize it was 9. I thought it was like 7. So by the time I get to Wichita, it is time to shower. Felix hits me up. Hey, man, let's do dinner. Dugot's there. Dugot hit me up. Let's do dinner.
Did you even catch up with anyone, or were you just
I just said,
hyped?
Hey, meet me at the show.
Yeah.
Meet me at the show, right? And again, I have no idea what this show is going to be like. I am the first comedy show at a botanical garden.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Wichita is a beautiful little town. Clean.
Yeah.
Nice. Is a real town. I don't want to brag about it.
I did it with you like years ago. Garrett was little.
At that really old.
There was a really cool old hotel off of there's a square sort of there in the center that had an awesome children's museum. It was cool. There was a great little. We took Garrett to a candy shop. There was this amazing candy shop.
I don't want to ruin it for the Wichita people.
Because it's still so quaint and
it's
small.
It's so quaint and nice and small. And if I brag about it, people are looking to leave certain states. And they're going to go, well, I'll go and ruin that state, that town too. So I don't want to brag about it too much. But, oh, my gosh, dude. Beautiful little town. Yeah. I get there. The staff is absolutely amazing. I get picked up in a golf cart because my green room... It's not even a green room. It's like...
Oh, well, it's a botanical garden. They wouldn't have a green room.
But it was so... this garden's no joke, man. It's big and it's beautiful. And she's taking me through all this lit up area in the back. And we end up in this little barn type of a deal, and hang out there. Then Felix shows up. Dugat shows up. The crowd was... I had no idea what to expect.
Well... I don't think anyone, when we were promoting it, we were like, how do we let people kind of know what this is? Because you bring your own chair, you sit in a lawn.
Well, it was funny because there were several people that didn't bring a chair. They just brought a little blanket to sit on because they thought, everybody's going to sit in the lawn on blankets.
Oh, no, and then they can't see.
So now they can't see, right? And by the way, just like my joke, as I'm pulling through, you see everybody coming in. all the men are like carrying all the fucking chairs. The women just have a little bag.
Yeah.
The men are carrying everything, poor bastards, right? But I gotta tell you, man, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The pictures, the stage looked amazing.
I mean,
the lawn looked
we
really
did
cool.
almost 2,000 tickets. So you look out on this lawn, and it's perfect because it curves up just like an amphitheater. And it was just, man, a really special show. Other than the fact that I probably ate 15 bugs while I was on stage, right? Because the bugs are just all around me because I'm the one in lights, right? So at the end of the show, Dugat was laughing because I breathed.
You had some in your teeth?
Well, I breathed in and it hit the back of my throat, and I'm like, right? But man, beautiful situation. We wrap it up, go back to the green room, and all this, we know that it was coming, but this storm hits. And it is a straight up Kansas City storm. I mean,
they get tornadoes, right?
And by the way, Dugat and his wife Danielle, he's like, we were here in May. Here's a picture from our hotel of a tornado. From their hotel in May, they have a picture of a tornado that's probably a mile away. So, I mean, it is like fucking coming down.
Wow.
And the staff has to get all the tents in. I mean, they are.
Oh, they've got to shut down the show.
And I hate that I forgot her name, but this girl worked so stinking hard. She would come in and check on us, and when I tell you she was soaking wet from working out in that storm, and I kept saying, sit down, have a drink, relax. She's like, I can't. She's like, I cannot leave my staff. I got to help them. We're losing tents. Tents are being blown around. She's like, we got to get out there.
Oh,
and I just like, you go, wow, man, what a committed staff.
Yeah.
You know, and she was just, and that is a leader, right? That is somebody, she's the boss. And she is out there with her staff, soaking wet, helping all that she can.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just, the botanical garden was just beautiful.
Were people, awesome. Was the audience able to kind of clear out before the storm started? Or?
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Like we finished, and I mean, basically, they were tracking it. So they were like, if you get off at this time, that gives everybody 20 minutes to get off the lawn. Okay. Right? So
you knew going in.
I knew going in, you know.
And people kind of knew showing up.
Well, like, I think that also might have hurt my walk-up.
Yeah.
You know, I think that ticket sales kind of stalled day of because people were looking at the weather.
Yeah.
You know, but we pulled it off. And because the storm was coming, everything had cooled down. So it really was,
I didn't think about that.
It really was a perfect situation where
to be outside and enjoy a show. It had
cooled down. There was a little breeze coming through.
Yeah.
You know, and it just, I hope everybody in Wichita enjoyed the show the way I did. I loved it. Now the crummy part, I was not able to do meet and greet at all
because of the storm.
Well, because of the storm and because there was nowhere to bring them back to.
Oh, right. It's just like all
wide
open. There's not a sort of section.
There's not a room or a section. But I really, really loved the show. I loved the garden.
We didn't know what to expect. I know, like, at home we were talking about it. We were a little apprehensive going into it. Like, no one's ever done comedy there.
The community in Illinois, the way they came out to support that woman, and the way that the staff, you could tell they were all friends. You could tell they all liked working there. You could tell, and the same with the botanical gardens, right? When you go somewhere and you can tell that management's good.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I always say that, man.
The attitude comes from the top. Starts at the top. Yeah.
You know, it starts at the top. I have been on TV show sets. I have been on movie sets. I've been on. I've worked for people where, you know, you were afraid of the manager.
You can tell when people are walking around on eggshells.
Yeah, you could tell.
You read that vibe real quick.
They're walking around on eggshells. They're not happy to be there. They're somewhat uncomfortable and. Again, I try to, in my life, you know, I know that I am the leader of this ship that we're on right now. I try my very best that when we film a special, that everybody feels comfortable and appreciated and wanted. And
Right.
and every time we film a special, we have a lot of fun. Well, especially since Rick and his team have gotten on board.
Yeah.
But I think Rick has the same attitude. I do. Rick, you've been a boss for a long time. How do you approach it?
Oh, just tyrant. You gotta yell at everyone.
You know what? Actually, now that you say that, Rick, I have never, ever heard you raise your voice.
I wish my kids could say that.
Well, no, I was going to say, but like, I've never even seen you raise your, we don't spend a ton of time with your children, but I've never even seen you raise your voice at your children. Like, I've literally never seen Rick raise his voice.
Well, I'm interested.
I wouldn't know what that sounds like.
Because I have been on other tapings and I have been on other sets around other crews, and I have been in situations where it is uncomfortable. You know, when the director or producer comes around, talent gets uncomfortable, they get scared, you know. But I've also only been on my sets where, you know, I think, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have a very good atmosphere when we film a special.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and like you've always been a big advocate of staying in lanes. Everyone that we work with knows what they're doing and are really good across the board.
Well, that's such a key thing too, is staying in your lane. I have learned that, right? I have learned that if you're going to have people around you, you need to trust those people that they are good enough to do their job. And you, number one, you don't have to micromanage. Number two, you know that they're going to deliver quality, right? So
Everybody gives a shit.
Everybody gives a shit. But have you been on sets before that are just freaking nightmares?
Oh, both sides of it, where I've had talent who are nightmare, and then I've had, you know, crew members who are nightmares and stuff. Yeah, it's the way it ruins the day when you're trying to be creative. It's hard.
Oh, I've been on I don't want to say the brand, but I've been on a commercial shoot that was, I mean, the client was so nitpicky and unhappy. It sucked all the creativity out of the room. Everyone was like, okay, let's just get through this day. So they stopped putting in creative input and they stopped caring. They were like, whatever we have to do to appease this client.
To get that person to
all the actors, any of the crew and the production, what, you want this here? Okay, that's there. Peace out, you know? Like.
But I've also noticed, Rick, that I don't have to get very upset to get results. Because my set is fun, because we're very appreciative, because we are very positive. If I raise my voice just a little, or I bring a concern up, then my concern is taken very seriously.
Yeah. And
I think that if you're somebody that's constantly bitching and constantly complaining and constantly yelling, your complaints, it's like, what's the point?
Right.
Like, this guy's never going to be happy
You
anyway.
pick and choose. You let a lot of things go, and you decide what's really worth
fighting for.
Yeah.
But do you find that to be true too, Rick? That when you're on set, that it's not worth, you know, huffing and puffing and yelling all the time?
Yeah, I've never gotten yelled at and wanted to work harder, so I treat people the same way. Like, if you get people who are doing their jobs, and the other thing too is, like, we've been together for so long. Even you and I, you know, we started 20 years ago, and then working together kind of with the filming 2, 3, 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years. So we now know each other's kind of cadence, and my crew knows our cadence and stuff.
I think that your team thinks I'm too relaxed. I think, you know, there's times that they come backstage and they're like, Steve, you want us to clear the 30 people that are back here so you can prepare to film? And I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck.
What was it the other day? We were just talking about something. We were talking about, I think it was your next special or something like that. And you're like, well, we need to do this. And I was like, oh, hold on, I got to go on. And you just left. It's like, wait, you were talking to me right before you went on stage? Like,
yeah.
You know, but you know, and I've had that before in the past where, you know, I filmed my first special that I filmed on my own. The producers were like, nobody in his green room, and make sure nobody talks to him, and he needs, you know, an hour alone. And I'm like, I don't like being alone.
Right.
And to me, what I do is fun, and it's exciting, and I like that people come and share.
You are actually the opposite in that you need the energy. That quiet time alone does not serve you in any way. The people, that energy, you need that before the show.
The only time that I need is when, like, if I've been up, you know, like when we did Disney, right? Friday, we woke up 7:00 in the morning, went to Disney, spent the whole day at Disney, and that's the only time. And I've told you, you know, before, where I'm like, I just need 1 hour. I need to lay in the bed and do nothing for 1 hour
and
because
just kind of recharge.
It's my break, right? I do need a break because I've already gone 8 hours at Disney and I'm about to go 8 hours doing 2 shows tonight. Yeah. I just need 1 hour of, can I just chill? And it's not even sleep time or nap time. Right. I just need to not move.
Yeah.
You know, screw off on my phone.
Yeah.
Maybe watch Sports Center. Just chill.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
And then you shower and you're ready to go again.
Yep.
I feel like the only thing you do enjoy, if there is time carved out for you to sit and have a good meal.
I like
and not too heavy because you're going to go on stage, but just like have an actual.
I do like having a nice dinner with my family. I mean, the only thing that sucks is it's super early. Right? Yeah. It's always because I have a show.
We're having dinner at 5:00.
Yeah, we usually have dinner at 5:30.
Which
sometimes
works for
6.
Delilah.
Yeah, which works for our baby girl. But yeah, then I started thinking about us going to Miami, and I'm like, well, what do we want to do in Miami with the kids?
I don't know. Well, the thing is, the club is actually in Doral, and there's a whole little shopping center there with like an indoor play place, which the kids will love. But Miami proper.
It's also going to be raining because last time we did Miami, remember? Or no, we didn't do Miami. We did.
There was one year we were there, and a hurricane was coming through, and we debated you staying and me and Garrett flying home because the parents were calling, freaking out. Why did you take the kids to a place where there's a hurricane?
What's the other one called?
Dania Point.
Dania Point. When the first time we did Dania Point, it's like we didn't get to leave the hotel room.
I don't
It was
remember.
that bad. So I hope that doesn't happen in Miami where it's just so wet and rainy.
Their children's museum is amazing. I think they have an amazing zoo that we've never done because it's always hurricane season and raining when we go. But they've got great art museums too. Maybe we take the kids to an art museum.
That would be fun.
Your mama might like that.
Yep, Miss Dora is. We miss Miss Dora. We gotta. She called me yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to.
She's so much fun.
She's the best, you know, and I've been so lucky to really get a really close relationship with her lately, and she's just so much fun, and you and her get along.
She loves to eat and drink, so she'll be happy just to like go out and have good meals and a fancy cocktail.
I was happy that drink. I got home Sunday and your parents stayed. Usually I get home and they're like, Steve, we're already leaving. Like,
well, no, because by the time you get home, they want to hit the road and they don't want to be driving in the dark. And I think a couple times ago, like Dad started to nod off on the road, and it scared them both a little.
But it is cool. I mean, they are finally, I think, you know, getting to the point where they do want to retire. But you know, I think about that and I think, man, God, it's got to be a weird feeling, right? To go, okay, I've made enough money, I've worked hard, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I want to retire, but now what?
Yeah, they both love their jobs and they love people, and
stand-up is not going to wear me out, right? I can do stand-up. Don Rickles did it till he was in his late 80s.
Yeah.
You know, and I can do stand-up. I mean,
but their jobs take a toll on their bodies.
Jobs take a
My
toll
mom's
on
a hairdresser. She's on her feet all day long.
But you talk to your mom and she's like, God, but I like the social aspect of my job because she's a hairdresser. And she's like, I love my clients and I love talking to them and I love, you know, all the people around the beauty shop. And, you know, so I just, you know, we want to push them to retire so they can spend more time with us and their grandkids. But I also sympathize with them and I understand the feeling of like selling your home. Like I couldn't imagine. You know, we love this home, and this is a dream.
And they built that one. Right. That was their dream home. They built that home.
And having to go, okay, well, and then that's the other thing too is that as time goes on, you know, we have our own family. Raymond has his own family. Rebecca's in Japan.
Yeah. Right.
My sister has her own family and her own husband, and my older sister has her own family, and her oldest daughter's in Japan, and we just. You know, there was a time where your parents' house was the gathering point.
For everyone.
For everybody. Everybody goes, we're going home. We're going to do Thanksgiving, Christmas.
For all the grandparents, for all the aunts and uncles. Yeah.
So now there's been a changing of the guard, right? Where, hey, everybody comes to us.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you said there's a changing of the guard, because I was like, the year I was pregnant, the Thanksgiving, I was like super pregnant with Delilah because she was born the weekend after Thanksgiving. Mom came in and like cooked everything. You know, it was like, just be in your home because the next day you're giving birth to a baby. But I think I really need to learn how to cook. Like actual,
This podcast is amazing. We're coming up with all kinds of good shit.
Because we talked about the time I forgot to pick up the turkey we ordered one Thanksgiving and had to like figure out how to make one. But I just feel like, sorry, I have like boogers running out of my nose. I think I like need to learn how to make all of it.
But I also think that is a good opportunity, you know, as the guard changes, is those are the times you get to spend with your parents. That's the mom time you get to where you go, hey mom, this year, can you come and can I do it with you?
Yeah.
Can you show me?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, Miss Dora, you're the last one that knows how to make tamales.
Oh, that is hard work.
It is hard work.
That is hard work.
But I think it's a really cool opportunity to have those moments with your family, because life is short and you go, man, you know, we're not going to be around forever, number one. And our parents are going to, God, you know, the way God works is they're going to go first and then us. But you know, it is a good moment of like, hey, there is a changing of the guard, and there is oh wow, we're responsible now.
Yeah.
To have, and you know, your parents were the house. I always feel like in every family, there's the more successful relative. Everybody goes, well, we're going to your house, right? Because your house is fucking awesome, right? And we have become we're going to Trevino's, right? We're going to Steve's, you know. So I mean, it's exciting for me, and I think that's the hardest part for a father and son. That's what I have really seen, is that, you know, my dad still wants to be the old silverback, right?
Old silverback? What is that a reference to?
The
I don't
gorilla,
know.
Right?
Okay.
He's the leader of the tribe, and he has a hard time giving that up to me.
Yeah.
You know, he really struggles with, how am I not in charge right now? You know, he'll say things like, Steve, don't tell me what to do. I tell Steve what to do. I mean, he'll tell my family that, you know, when I talk, Steve listens. And if I tell Steve to do something, he better fucking do it, you know? And it's like, dude, chill out.
Yeah.
You know, and I think your dad has trouble with his son on the changing of the guard, right? And being able to, and that's something that hopefully that I always watch people. I always learn from people, so that
some people are much better at that than others. And I mean, I can't help but wonder: is it also a cultural thing? Is it a machismo thing? You know?
No, I mean, yes and no, but I also think it's a certain kind of alpha man, right?
Yeah.
But I do see, you know, relationships. You know, God rest his soul, Vance Dawson. You know, Vance had a wonderful relationship with his son. And they would joke together and they would have fun together. But when Vance was on Bubba's ass, it was dad time.
Yeah.
You know, and he was still able to be dad. He was still able to be a guiding force in his son's life. But he was also still able to joke around and have fun and give his son responsibilities within the business. And, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Do you think he learned that from his father?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, right? You learn things from... You know, I learned things from watching a million different people, from asking questions and going, okay, what kind of relationship do I want with my son? And I have taken a very strong approach as to, I want my son to be able to do things on his own, and I will let him do things on his own. You know, my dad was very, you know, when he got his first nice boat, you know, Dad wouldn't let me back it up. You know, I was already in high school.
Oh, Garrett's already run the Ranger into Steve's truck, so I feel good because I'm not the only one denting the truck.
But Dad wouldn't let me reverse the trailer in because he was afraid. But again, you look at it as, I also understand my dad could not afford to fix that boat if I messed it up.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this.
Right?
Yeah.
He was worried, hey, man, this is my first boat. I paid a lot of money for this boat. And if Steve wrecks it, I can't afford to be fixing it.
Yeah.
You know? So there is a struggle there too.
Yeah.
Right? You know, if Garrett wrecks my mule, you know, then I can get another one, or I can fix it, and it's not that big of a deal. But when you got somebody like my dad who's on a budget, and didn't make crazy amounts of money, I could understand how he could be like,
it's
hey,
stressful.
it's
That's stressful.
Right.
Yeah.
But I hope that, you know, I think Gary and I have a really good relationship. However, you know, even though I try very hard to have a good relationship with my son, you can tell that the things I say matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can tell that if I say, hey, you know, I like this or I don't like that, he's very hesitant to not like what I like. Right?
Yeah.
And I've had those conversations with him, and I said, look, son, I want you to like what you like.
But
And
you
that's
hope that
okay.
that's the balance, right? Like you only play country, even with just like music, you only play country music in the car when you
I play
have
classic
him. So
rock.
I make sure to play.
I play classic rock.
pop and piano, and I'll even put on classical just so he hears different stuff when he's with me. You know,
I mean, you know, ultimately you have to realize that your kids are sponges, and they're learning the most from 0 to 5. So you think about people who are playing horrible music in their car, and the thunder rolls. Come on, baby, let's rain.
I wonder if they heard that.
I don't know if they heard that.
Loud.
Just big thunder. But you realize that, you know, you're raising your kids, you're putting them in your car, you're listening to terrible music that is bitch this and bitch that and N-word this and N-word that. All that is getting soaked into them.
Yeah.
Right? It's getting soaked into them. If you are doing things at home in front of your kids, even from 0 to 5, that they are seeing, they are learning that behavior from you.
Oh, for sure. When Garrett does something
then-
that I would say or do, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well,
I know
right,
where
yeah.
he got it from.
We all know where he got his defensiveness from. But all in all, you know, I don't. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to call this next special, but you know, I always think about what I've really been in my head is that.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that.
I know we got to figure out what we're gonna call it, but you know, I've said it on stage before, and I it won't leave my head. We try. That's it.
We try.
We try. We really, really try. It's not perfect, and we're not going to be perfect, and we're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But you know what? We try to be good parents. We try to be good husbands and wives to each other.
Yeah.
We try to be better today than we were yesterday.
We care enough to try.
We try.
We care enough to try.
You know.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with your eyes?
I don't know. My nose was running. My
Well, it's because
eyes
for the
were
first
watering.
time we've done the podcast with the fan.
The fan on?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. It's my eyes are watering, my nose watering.
But ultimately, we're so happy that you guys go on this journey with us. We're so happy that you guys care enough to comment,
Yes.
to go to the shows. So
Oh, I just want to say, like
somebody did send me a message. They go, Steve, stop thanking us. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful.
I just want to say, please sign up for the email list on your website. We won't bombard people, but it's an easy way for them to know, because all these shows are selling out so quickly, so that the people who tune in every week, I want them to have the first opportunity to buy tickets when they go on sale. So sign up for that email
And
list.
when are we going to get Corey on the podcast? We're right now looking for another couple to join us on the podcast.
Next week. They're coming.
Oh, good. So
Yeah,
next
next week
week
they're coming.
And then I'm going to hit him up. We'll see. My friend Goldberg.
Yeah.
We'll see if I don't want to bother him. He's so busy, but I do want to ask Bill and his wife to come on, and I also want to explain to Bill that no offense, I don't want to talk about you. I want to talk about your relationship.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your love story. I want to talk about, you know, to your wife and ask her, what does it take to be married to a wrestling superstar?
Yeah.
You know, and then I saw the documentary on him. Turns out that she had never seen him wrestle.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, she
ended up seeing him wrestle.
She knew he was a wrestler. She knew who he was, but she
They were on a movie set together.
She was not a part of his life during his wrestling days.
So I just really want to get to know them and their struggles and what they go through as the Goldbergs, if you will. You know, and then hopefully maybe Josh Abbott. You know, Josh and Taylor. Hopefully we'll get them on. But we're really super excited to introduce to you a very, very special couple to us.
Yeah.
Somebody that also works with us. Corey is an ex-Dallas Cowboy. He was Tony Romo's center. Me and him have long history.
Yes.
He is
and
also,
Megan is no wallflower. She's a woman in her own right.
But Corey is also handles our life insurance. He also handles our investments. He's a very intelligent guy and very faith-based.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very excited for you guys to meet Corey and his wife so that we can get into their relationship. So thank you so much, guys. And until next time, we love you, we thank you, and please support the people who support us. Thank you.